Hello, everyone. I'm Zabi Barnes, seashell shaman, seashell mystic, seashell yogi, and seashell alchemy teacher. And today we're going to talk about three really important energies for all light workers and all healers. And I believe that everyone is a healer, so therefore these energies are important for everyone. These three energies exist on a continuum, and which one you focus on is going to depend on where you are in a given moment, where you are in your heart, and also where you are in your mind. So let's start with the energy of hope. Emily Dickinson said, "Hope is the thing with feathers that perches on the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all." And of course, we know that she didn't even really believe that because she herself struggled sometimes with despair. And the word despair means without hope. Hope may be the thing with feathers that perches on the soul, but sometimes that bird seems like it's flying south for the winter. And what do we do in that case? What do we do when we're feeling despair? What do we do when world events drag us down to the point that we think that maybe there is no hope? Maybe it's a hopeless situation. What do we do when we think that a healing possibility is hopeless, that something cannot be healed or cannot be changed? Well, the first step is that we want to dig deep and find hope. Before we reach for some of the higher vibrational energies that can really bring the healing through, we need to have that hope. It's a stepping stone. It's a very important stepping stone that helps us spiral up to new possibilities. Hope in and of itself generally is not going to be enough to change something, but it is an important first step. And certainly if somebody is suicidal or if they are ready to give up entirely on anything, then hope would be the energy that I would bring through for them. Hope would be the energy that I would hold for them first. And then from there, everything else is that much easier. Once hope is established, then the next step in this continuum is the energy of faith. And faith is a broad, expansive energy that exists at different levels. It is a snowballing energy. And by that I mean it continues to deepen and deepen and deepen. In the Bible, we hear about having the faith of the mustard seed. That's all that's needed. Is a mustard seed is very, very, very tiny. And so all you need is a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of faith to start with. And from there, it can grow and grow and grow and grow. And I find that for the healers and the light workers out there, it's really important for us to maintain faith and deepen faith, to let that snowballing process occur. And sometimes it's about having faith in ourselves. Sometimes it's about having faith in the techniques that we've learned. And of course, ultimately, it's about having faith in the divine. So how do you build faith? Well, the philosopher Kierkegaard talked about that it was something that you had to leap into. You had to actually take a leap of faith, that in your spiritual journey, at some point, you would get to a place where you had to just leap off the cliff not knowing what was going to happen, that you had to take the risk. That's what a leap of faith is, that you leap even though you don't know whether you're going to get caught or not, whether you're going to land safely or not. You take that leap. You leap without proof. So for healers, Every healing that we give, we're taking a leap of faith. Every person that we put our hands on, every client that we show up for, every person that we step up to help, we don't really know what's going to happen. We don't know what the outcome is going to be. We may believe something, but we don't really know. And yet we show up, we step up, we do what we know how to do, we use our tools. And the more we use our tools, the more we find out what happens. By taking the leap of faith again and again and again and showing up again and again and again, we deepen our faith because we start to see the results. We start to see the evidence. I know a lot of people who take healing classes and then they don't ever use what they learned. Maybe they became a Reiki master and then they don't ever do Reiki. And it's because they don't have faith. And the reason that they don't have faith is because they never took the leap of faith. They never had the guts to put their hands on people and find out what really happens. What really happens when you use the tool. What really happens when you immerse yourself into the tool that you have just learned. What happens when you immerse yourself into the tool without caring what other people think? The more and more and more you can do that, the stronger your faith gets. Because until you actually take that leap, you're only operating from belief, maybe a little bit of hope and some belief. You believe in Reiki, or you believe in whatever healing modality you've just learned. But you have to actually leap into it and do it and take the actions. Jump off the cliff. Don't just stand at the precipice. Jump off the cliff and find out what happens. Most of the time, what happens is it works. And if it doesn't work, then you will find out what you need to do differently so that it will work. Trial and error can bring us to miracles when we maintain our faith. And what happens if the faith starts to slip? Then we want to go back to hope. Go back. It's a lower vibration. Hope is a lower vibration than faith. So when you can't quite get to faith, go back to hope and hold on to hope. And then there's a third energy that is part of this continuum, and it is the energy of trust. And trust also has different levels. So we can trust in ourselves, we can trust in others. Ultimately, the highest expression of trust is when we can surrender and trust in the divine order of the universe. Trust comes through repetition. Trust comes through repeatedly taking those leaps of faith, repeatedly stepping up and taking the action so that we can trust ourselves. We can trust ourselves to show up. We can trust others to show up based on what has happened in the past. And ultimately, we trust in the divine order of the universe because we have seen it unfold again and again and again. So some people are at the place where they really need to strengthen their trust in themselves. This is strengthening the trust that you will do what needs to be done, that you are enough, that you show up. It has to do with your actions that become dependable over time. You begin to trust yourself to make good decisions because you use your discernment. So you can trust yourself to know whom you can and cannot trust. And ultimately, you trust your higher power. You trust the divine order of creation that always gives you exactly what you need. You trust the divine timing You trust yourself to get in the flow of divine timing. These are all expressions of the higher vibrational energy of trust. So faith is that you take that leap, not knowing what would happen. Trust is that you have seen the results over and over again because you took those leaps of faith, and now you really can trust through experience. You trust because you've lived it. You trust because you know it from the inside out. So whenever anything seems like a struggle, it's good to stop in that moment and tune in and ask, what do you need right now? Do you need hope? Do you need faith? Or do you need trust? And the good news is that these are not just concepts, they are actual energies, they're vibrational frequencies. And my favorite way to tap into the vibrational frequency of hope or faith or trust is to work with the seashell spirals that bring those energies through. Because even if I'm hopeless, if I feel hopeless, then I can grab on that seashell spiral for hope and instantly I find hope. Or if I want to strengthen my faith, I grab onto the seashell spiral for faith and instantly my faith is restored and strengthened. Or if I want to grab onto that energy of trust and deepen my ability to either trust myself or to trust the decisions I'm making or trust in the divine order in the universe at a higher level, at a deeper level, then I grab onto that seashell spiral for trust. When I'm working with clients, if they're struggling with hope, then I bring through the energy of the seashell spiral for hope. If they're struggling with faith, I bring through the spiral energy, the frequency for faith. And if they're struggling with trust, then I bring through the seashell spiral frequency energy for trust. So there are a few different ways that you can learn how to work with these energies. One is to get my book on seashell healing and then get the actual shells and work with the shells the way I teach you how to do in the book. The faster, easier way is to work with my activated seashell medicine cards. These are seashell alchemy cards, seashell medicine cards. They come in two sizes. There is the larger size tarot size card, and then I have a new set of cards that are the mini cards, the mini medicine cards. And these are designed, they're the size of a business card. And they are designed so that you can wear them throughout the day. You can choose the cards that you want to work with, the energies, the seashell energies that you want to work with. And you wear them in a medicine bag throughout the day. And then at night you can put them under your pillow and sleep with those energies. You can do that also with the larger size cards. The larger ones are harder to wear, although you can get a large size pouch and wear the larger ones also. But either size, you can always put them under your pillow at night when you sleep. And so if you're wanting to strengthen your faith, you pull out the faith card. The energy's in the cards. The cards are like having a whole set of well-practiced shamans who bring those energies through for you. So if you're struggling with hope, then you would choose the card for hope and carry it around with you and sleep with it. Lay it on your body and you will automatically get that vibrational frequency without having to have the actual shell. And if you are working with the energy of faith and wanting to strengthen your faith and take more leaps of faith, then you would work with the faith spiral, the faith seashell spiral with the card, so that you would wear that card for the day. and maybe sleep with it under your pillow. And then if it's trust that you're needing, of course, you would choose the trust card. Or you might decide to do all three: hope, faith, and trust. All three, because they work together, they weave together. And you could really amp up your ability to maintain a positive outlook and to take those leaps of faith when appropriate, and to trust yourself to know when is the right time to leap and when is the right time to stay where you are. Because we don't want to always be leaping blindly into things, of course. That's foolishness. So we want to have that trust in ourselves to know when to take those leaps of faith. So I hope you've enjoyed this recording, this video today, and let's all keep spiraling up to greater hope, deeper faith, and deeper trust.